Hello, today I'll be completing the 26th of August Sydney Morning Herald Cryptic Crossword. Let's go. Accept lung donation and rest. 513. Not sure it could be an anagram. Looks like something asks something, doesn't it? Not 100% sure, but let's see if we can make use of that A there. Felines, cats looks good. Cuddling, extremely docile students. Well, yeah, there it is. So, felines, of course, would be cats, which is cuddling, as in the word itself is going around the word, the extreme letters of the word docile. So that would be D and E. And that gives you students, which are cadets, of course. Let's use this S now. Well, this doesn't help a huge amount because both the first and the last letters use the letter S. So it looks like, yeah, the trouble is this one, we're not really sure. So throwing is an anagram indicator. So we're looking for either a word that means starts, that's an anagram of stones, or a word that means stones, that's an anagram of starts. Both viable, which is, I suppose, probably intentional. Let's see, what can we do with that? I feel like stones is better anagram fodder. For starts, I mean, start can mean have a fright. If you start, you jump. Fortunately, both seem. Not sure. What about starts for something that's stones? Not many other ways I can think of stones. The drug sense, unlikely to be the Sydney Morning Herald, though they've thrown in a few doozies, but maybe a little too colloquial. All right, we'll come back when we've got a few more checking letters. Dear, leader, immediately thinking the leader to the word dear. But ousted can mean take that D and take it out of, for example, the end of war announced. I mean, usually that's like surrendered or victored. Anyway, in small speaker. It could also just be an anagram of end of war. But that seems unlikely. What are small speakers? I think tweeters? Tweeters are like the speakers you put up on the top of a car, I think, up here that make the high sounds, the high-pitched sounds. I'm not sure. I mean, tweet would kind of fit, except it doesn't, no. All right. Well, no luck there. All right. How about we look for this long one down? A sliced sternum, strangely, a very common anagram indicator. And that looks like the right number of letters to me, 6, 10, 13, 14 for a 14-letter word. So, a common injury for a sliced sternum. What can we make out of that? Kind of trying to think of a body part I can make out of these letters for 6. Like a muscle? Looks like a muscle, like a strained muscle. That looks pretty good to me, I think. Yeah, there's the L, T, yeah, sure, why not? All right, well, that's great. That's given us a lot of letters. All right, this looks like take. I mean, to accept is to take. Oh, to take a breather, of course. Yes, and a lung is a breather. So there you go. Much easier when you get the first letter, as always. Ignore escapee talking about me. To ignore is to skip. Me could be I, but I'm not sure why escapee would be SKP. Escapee talking. So often talking homophone, I'm thinking. An escapee is a runaway. An escapee is a jailbird, kind of. Escapee. A con? Maybe? Not really. Me, so the person who wrote this crossword, sometimes me can refer to themselves, so LR, but seems unlikely here. Alright, we'll come back. Vulgar, self-absorbed bum. Self-absorbed could be I, as in you put an I in something. A bum can be... not sure. Not doing too well today, but anyway, I'm sure once we start getting a few crossing, we'll do a little better. This one, silent letter is always nice. So United Nations, usually UN, relaxed. Well, this could be an injury after that. So we're probably actually looking for a word that means relaxed, which probably means we're looking for something ED probably. An injury is a break. So, unbothered, not sure. Well, let's see if we can take advantage of the A here. Tire inflator. An air pump. This is a pretty obvious one. Well, yeah, okay. Pretty simple one. So fix anagram indicator very usually. One, the Roman numeral for one is an I, so put that all together, you get air pump. Finally, get some runs on the board. Salad ingredient. I mean, you see ingredient, you're immediately thinking of hidden words, but I see we've got an R. I don't see any good R letters here unless it's backwards, but unlikely. But, well, actually, second thought, toss, very common anagram indicator, is hard. If you think of a vegetable that starts with that, pretty easy, I think, to come up with. Radish. There we are. Sled, turned, looks like well, I'd say an anagram of sled, but, well, okay, but if we have a sled and we turn the left, so L and R, very common abbreviations for left and right. Hotel, the phonetic alphabet representation of H, so you turn the L in sled into an H and you get shed. Easy. Change gender, then rest. I mean, change anagram indicator very often. 6, 10, 14. Yeah, so you're probably looking for an anagram of gender, then rest. That means rejuvenated, which would be... so it's going to be something surely. For rejuvenated. This feels like it can't be that hard. Because the only vowels we have to deal with are E's, so you'd think it'd have to be an E. If you rejuvenated something, you reassembled, you resuscitated, you... Oh, that's terrible. That really should be an easy one. But it's very hard to think. So that was an H. I just can't think of that anagram. That's annoying. Well, how about a word ending in P? That should be relatively easy. A VP. Vice President looks so good together that maybe they are trying to trick us and we're looking for just a vice. So president... after yes. Oh, sorry, I thought a vice is in smoking, drinking. But no, a vice is in, well, if you think of a shellfish here, the most obvious one that comes to my mind is a clam. And president, I guess, could be P. Not that I've seen that before, to be honest, but it makes sense. VP is vice president, after all. So clamp, easy. Postal couriers dispatched, donut for ship. So it looks to me... Well, I was going to say it's an anagram of couriers, but it's too long with a donut, which would be an O. Think of a cutter. To ship is to send. Postal. Postal couriers are carriers, I suppose. Well, a ship is a carrier. 100% sure how that works, but it looks good. Postal courier could be a carrier, and a ship is a carrier. But I'm just not sure what the dispatch donut bit's doing. Well, let's leave it in with a question mark. Let's just see if this I is right. If the I is not right, I'll probably just take it out. Justice, symbolically. Blind, isn't it? Had beers, drank, behind Supreme Court. Presumably Supreme Court is SC. This I does not look very good. Beers could be ales. Yes, of course. The scales of justice. So, carrier not right, as I suspected, because I couldn't justify it. And if you can't justify it, it's probably not right. Woman, playing Dylan endlessly. Well, a woman could be Lana. No. I see. Yeah, playing anagram indicator usually endlessly, very literal. Take the N off Dylan and you get an anagram which would be lady. All right, let's try this long one now. Can nude career. I mean, it just screams anagram to me, doesn't it? 3, 7, 13, and we're looking for a 13-letter word. Change anagram indicator. And just can nude career. I mean, come on. It's just such a weird phrase. A test of stamina. I mean, endurance looks good, doesn't it? How about an endurance race? Did I spelled it wrong. There we go. Yes, looks good to me. All right. I have no idea. Well, that's scary. Well, okay, maybe a much simpler explanation of this would be dispatched as in anagram. But, well, I don't love it, because then what's the word postal doing? And can I just think of a word that fits here? I mean, that might not be right, I have to remember. A courser is a ship, isn't it? Oh, yes, of course. So I'm doubling up. Postal, I guess, means anagrammed. I think from, like, American sense of go postal is to go crazy. So I guess to go postal on a word is to make it all mixed up, I suppose. And yet take the word couriers. Well, I still don't love it. Because then, if we're dispatching the donut, we should be taking the O out. So a cruiser. Gosh, that took a long time to get there, didn't it? So we take the O out, we get cruiser, which, of course, a cruiser is a type of ship. Slow, but we get there in the end. So can we get this now? An injury is a tort. Relaxed. Unbound. Is a bound an injury? A wound is an injury. Very similar word to bound, but subtly different. All right, there we go. That's the answer there. Fund. Owned mistakes. I mean, well, yes, I can. Mistakes, anagram indicator, endow, because it's the right number of letters, and it's got that W, so if we anagram that, we can get endow. To endow, an endowment's a fund, isn't it? So I guess they're synonymous. Let's have a look at this next one. Fund, for this one. Dad fretted about hospitals' mental health diagnosis. Well, I can only think of one health diagnosis with 4 letters with this kind of pattern, which would be ADHD, which is an anagram of dad around H. So there you are. So now we are looking for an anagram of stones for starts. So what is this? Oh, the onsets. Of course, the starts are the onsets. Yes, there it is. Much easier when you get that middle letter, so you can muddle your way through, even if you can't see it at first glance. Can we get this one now? Because we're not going to get many more. Have we looked at this one? We have, and we've looked at this one, yes. All right, well, let's just have a look at this. The end of war announced. It still could be an anagram of end of war with D out. Can announced be rearranged? Not sure. Well, if we did do that, then we'd have... What letters would we have here? We'd have E-N, no D, O-F, W... Oh, of course not, because they're not the right number of letters. All right, so that's completely barking up the wrong tree. So... War announced. What's war? I mean, the end of war could just be R. So where's this A coming from then? Boy, it's tricky, isn't it? Let's just let that mull around the old subconscious this entire corner, and we'll come back. So can we get this one now? So what's this? Vanilla bean led fools out east. Vanilla is plain. Bean. Your bean can actually be a head, which kind of fits, sort of, not really. Led fools out east. So is this an anagram of bean led with the east, which is E, taken out? 4, 7. So we take both of them out. We get BR. So how about... No, I was going to say banal, but that's not going to work. Let's just put in... What letters do we have? Oh, bland. There we are. B-L-A-N-D. If you take the... Yeah, I mean... You just got to rearrange it with the fool's anagram indicator, don't you? All right, there you go. 13 across. Gatekeeper. Not sure. First couple of bricks. I mean, that looks like BR. Well, but it's going to be around Oz. Which I guess could be like Oz, like that. But I don't know where we're going with this word. I'm not sure of any word that I can think of that fits there. A gatekeeper is a bouncer at a pub. That looks good to me. So why would that be? Oh, OZ is a shortening for ounce, isn't it? So it is BR around ounce. Oh, these imperial measurements. Forget about them. There we are. Liam. That's got to be an anagram because there's Liam Gallagher, I think, from Oasis, wasn't he? But I can't imagine the Sydney Morning Herald's asking us to know him. But maybe, but in this case, probably not. An allegation, well, that looks like a claim to me. And 100, the Roman numeral for 100 is C. Uncrowned holy man isn't speaking in dialect. Ooh. Wow, that's tricky. I can't think of much in this entire clue. Uncrowned might mean ignore the first letter, perhaps. The crown being the top, I suppose. But then, what holy men can I think of in 5 letters that I'd take a first letter? But then also, what would... Well, isn't speaking in dialect... Yeah. Not sure. Heavenly bodies. Meteors, stars, planets. Women exposed in courts. Hilarious. Meaning as well if you just read it as a sentence, but I suspect we're looking for some kind of heavenly body, like constellations or something. Nebulas. Courts could be like... Courts is probably that, because then if you put women exposed, as in taking the first and last letters off, then you get the word comets, which are heavenly bodies. Endless respect cooking. Well, looks pretty clearly an anagram of respect without the last letter. So we do respect, and we get pancakes, which would be crepes. Made famous, of course, in Talladega Nights. Amongst many other things, I'm sure. Inhaled. Earth accidentally looks like an anagram of earth, but filling up a garden plot. Very often garden plot is bed. So breathed is, I think, the result of doing that. Body part of B2's mate. Oh my goodness, take me back to my childhood. B1, you thinking what I'm thinking B1? I think I am B2. Body part. Well, a bone is a body part, isn't it? Well, yes. B1. There you go. So this looks like resurrection or something, doesn't it? Orchestra. I have no idea what word we're trying to make here. Well, we'll come back again. Open. Telephone, probably that T. Ring is usually O, the letter O. Can be call. A, probably that A. And a Roman's number. Well, I'm not sure where we're going with this. TOA? A scumbag. Not sure. Unless this is not endurance race. It looks pretty good to me, though. Yeah, it looks pretty good. 3 E's. Yep. 2 A's. Yep. Usually with anagrams, I just check the vowels and see if the rest looks kind of okay. What are we doing here? So, T and ring A. What's a Roman's number? I mean, I can see the word tie would fit here. It feels pretty off kilter for SMH to call tie, define tie as scumbag, so that's probably not right. A Roman's number. A scumbag. What's a... Boy, some tricky ones here, aren't there? Okay, well, we've done all the easy ones, I guess. All these ones I found easy. We're just left with these tricky ones. How about this one? A dialect. Well, okay. I'm going to guess this is something I don't really know. I see in and dialect, and I see in there is Alec, which is someone's name. So I'm supposing there must have been some uncrowned holy man who didn't speak named Alec. I don't know much better than that. Let's suppose that's correct, which, I mean, that puts an E, which we know there's a million E's in this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 E's, which we've placed 3 of them, which is slightly worrying. Oh, like a compound word, but then what would go? Nothing could go here then. Re-strengthened, perhaps. Well, that puts paid to Alec, but okay. Wow, boy. What a tricky word. Just not a word you come across very often, is it? But I think that's right. All right. Well. So that puts paid to this answer, but at least for some reason putting the E there helped jog my memory. Who knows? The brain works in mysterious ways, especially mine. This one, gosh. I just don't have any idea, really. Uncrowned. Okay, there's pastor. Asta. Isn't speaking. What is that? Boy, I just have very little idea what's going on there. I'm going to have to hope something in my subconscious does something while I look at these other ones. So if this was skip. Oh, it is skip. SKP. If you said SKP, it sounds very much like SKP. And about me, which is I. So that is skip. Boy, these ones where they spill out letters and words often are fun tricky. But that is the answer for that one, I think. Now, a small speaker. Well, I guess I shouldn't get too attached to small speaker being the definition. Dear could be The leader of oust would be an O. The end of war. What's the end of war? Is a surrender. End of war is a ceasefire. The end of war is a victory or a defeat or a speaker is an addresser, is a deliverer. Small could often be S. A small speaker. It feels like there's going to be some kind of word play. It's going to be some funny way of thinking about a small speaker. But they don't put a question mark, so maybe that's not. Well, we've got another letter, but still no help. How about this one? Vulgar. Vulgar is base. Vulgar is coarse. Vulgar is a type of fraction. A bum is a rear. A bum is a arse. Again, probably not likely in the Sydney Morning Herald. A bum is a... Or to bum, if you bum a cigarette, you get a cigarette. To get. So self could be me. Absorbed bum, but can't barely even think of 3-letter words for bum, let alone 2 letters. Well, one of these 4 with no more checking letters is going to have to be the next port of call. Dear leader outside N. A coup d'etat is where a leader gets ousted. Tricky. Very tricky. How about this one? Oh boy, this is just a nightmare when you got 4 separate things. You're not going to get any more clues to help you really. I mean, I guess one of these will help the other, but I just have no idea. Open telephone. There's got to be a T. Ring has got to be A, but maybe it's a scumbag. Well, I can think of a few words. Probably unprintable, unspeakable for the Sydney Morning Herald, but they have put some real corkers in recently, so who knows. A Roman's number. Will that be like V, X, I, C, D? A toad. Could be a scumbag, I guess. That's really not that hard. Scumbag for toad is a little old-fashioned, but I suppose you've been watching Phantom of the Opera a lot. Carlotta becomes the toad, and she's a bit of a scumbag. Not really. She's just a prima donna. Anyway, I think that's the answer. Uncrowned holy man isn't speaking in dialect. A dialect is a tongue. What even fits here? Acne. Ain't. Acne. Uncrowned. I mean, uncrowned could, like a baby before they're born, before they've crowned, I guess, it could be a baby. But I don't see what I'd put here for that. I'm just going to trawl through the dictionary. A, B, A, C, A, D, A, A, F, A, G, I, ain't, A, J, A, K, A, L, anno, I mean, anno, As in Anno Domini, which I think Anno there means year. Uncrowned. Seems unlikely. What else could you? I mean, akin would be. I'll put something in there, but that doesn't seem to fit. Where did I go to? K A L A M A N A O A B A Q A R A S A T A U aren't. Isn't. I mean, I don't see how that could be right, but I guess isn't could be aren't. And if you spoke it in a dialect, I guess you'd homophone that maybe, and yet aren't. I really don't see why an uncrowned holy man would be an aren't. That seems very unlikely to me, but it's the best I've come up with, so A-U, A-V, A-W, Orns, Orn, something. X. I think I just have to go with aren't here. That's all I've got. What about this? We've got to be able to get this. Small speaker. An ear something would be like an earpiece. Oh, peace is the end of war. So okay. So the end of war is end of war is peace. Deer with the leader ousted. Yeah, there it is. So you take the deer, you take the leader out, you get ear. The end of war announces peace, and it's an earpiece. Oh, boy. So we've just got one left. We've got an E at the end now. So this is an I for self, or could it be me? It feels like this is an I, but then I can't imagine what's going on. So I'm just going to take this letter out, because if I put in a letter, if I fill it in, it'll tell me if I'm right or not. I want to just see if I can work it out first. Vulgar, self-absorbed bum. Vulgar is not brie. I refuse to believe it. Bum. I mean, I don't know why that would be right, but it fits and it does mean bum. And it's vulgar. Oh, it's just in there. Oh, you just don't expect these kind of things. All right, well, that's going to be the answer. Oh, I made a mistake somewhere. Oh, yeah. Well, oh, it is ain't. I even said ain't. But a holy man is a saint, and isn't speaking in dialogue is an ain't. Oh, that's disappointing. I even said ain't, but then I discarded it because I couldn't see how it would work. But there you go. Sometimes you think of the right answer and you skip right over it. Anyway, that's the Sydney Morning Herald done for the 26th of August, 2025. A near miss, but a valiant effort, I think.